Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to join a Zoom meeting the whole way from an invite, a Zoom invite, through joining, getting your audio connected, sharing your screen, and just some other general controls that you may need to use while you're in a Zoom meeting. So with that being said, let's dive in and check it out firsthand. To get started, open up the Zoom invite that you may have received in your email. Here you can see the invite. Adam is inviting me to a scheduled Zoom meeting. You can see the location is the Zoom link. Now I have hidden the meeting numbers and the password. Likewise, there is a link here, meeting number and encrypted password. If you're joining and you actually have to type in the password, it will be listed in the email as well. This prevents other people from randomly trying meeting IDs and being able to get in. Finally, if there is a SIP URI to dial in from a video endpoint, that will be listed here as well. When you're ready to join the meeting, simply click the meeting link and a browser window will open to start the meeting. Let's do that now. When you click the join link, you'll be brought to the Zoom page. You may be prompted to download a plugin. If not, the Zoom application will be launched automatically, again, if you've used it before. You're brought to a screen that looks like this. The connection will be made. You'll at first see if there's other individuals in the meeting. You'll see their video. You'll actually see myself. I am behind the screen here. Once you hit Join Computer Audio, this window will go away. Let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so there I am. I'm connected with audio. You can see the microphone is bouncing there with the green indicator from a volume perspective. If I need to make some changes to audio settings, I can actually expand the little up arrow and pick a different microphone or test speakers and microphone, do all those types of things. If you want to do a test, you can actually come in here, test speakers and microphones. You can hear a little tone. Do you hear the tone? Say yes. And you hear the audio replaying. And yeah, there you go. You can validate your audio settings from that perspective. As we move across the bar at the bottom here, we can stop our video. When you stop video, your name will be shown with, blanking out your video. So, of course, that will hide what's going on in the room. If you need to do something like that, we can unmute it. And right there we go, we're back. Likewise, there's options here if you need to change camera settings or video settings. There's actually even an option in Zoom to do a virtual background. So I have it here, a beach scene. Doesn't work too well because I am pretty much the same color as the background and I blend in. If you use something like a green screen or if just a contrasting wall that you don't blend into, it's going to work a lot better. So be sure to check that out. While I'm in here, I want to point out other settings. We have general settings, video settings, audio. So you can again test your microphone and speakers here if you need to. Screen sharing, a couple different options there. The virtual background I mentioned. Recording settings, where the recording will land if you record locally. Statistics, so here you can see CPU and memory utilization for the system. There's also stats for audio and video, right? So how many, what the latency, packet loss, jitter, those types of things. You can certainly check those out as well. Feedback, if you have comments about your experience using Zoom, you can key them in here and these go into the development group at Zoom, I would presume, where they can factor it into future releases of the software. Keyboard shortcuts and accessibility. So be sure to check out the options there. Looking next at the security tab, there's a couple different things here. You have the ability to lock a meeting. So if everyone's in who needs to be in, you can lock it, ensuring no one else who may have gotten the link either intentionally or unintentionally is able to join. You can enable a waiting room for those folks, so it gives you the option to screen them and decide who's allowed in. You have participants, participant options. Are they allowed to share their screen, chat, or even rename themselves to something else? Remove participant, so if someone is not supposed to be there or someone is causing problems, maybe their audio is not muted, they don't know how to do it. If you have to get rid of them, you certainly can. Speaking of participants, we also have a participants view here. A couple things to point out. There is the option to mute right in here. If you're you're able to mute your own audio, right? So mute, unmute. You can also change a number of settings. Here I actually just open up the chat window as well, so you can chat with everyone, right? When you're done with that, you can close that out. If you're in a meeting, maybe more of a classroom or training, you can actually do some polling. So yes, no, and you'll see everyone's answer down the side. Likewise, there's a go slower and go faster. And under more, there's thumbs up, thumbs down, applause, I need a break. And if someone is away, they've stepped away, they can actually indicate that. You'll see that in the roster as well. Last of all, if you're the host, you can clear all of them. So if you do a poll, for instance, you want to clear that before you ask your next question, something to that effect. You can also do some other things here, right? If you want to invite someone, this is to invite either a video system or a room system, or invite more folks via email. So when you're done with the participant tab, you can close it in the upper corner. There's a chat option. Same thing, you see the chat history from before, you can open that up. There is share screen. Now this is very useful when presenting material. So there are a couple things I want to point out here. One is you can share your entire desktop, and if you had more than one screen, you would see those screens here. There's a whiteboard, there is iPhone, iPad via AirPlay or via cable. You can certainly use those. There's also the ability to share just an application. So here is Firefox. If I want to share just the Firefox window and nothing else, I can certainly do that. This prevents you from seeing pop-ups from something like Outlook or something else that may even have some private information in them. This is so the users on the far end only see what they're supposed to be seeing. Last but not least, I want to point out that you can share your computer sound and optimize for video. Typical screen sharing is going to be a little bit more static. When you optimize for video, video will play through the screen share much better. When you're ready to go, hit share and your screen will be shared. There's a record option. Now this allows you to record both to your local computer or record to the cloud. So local computer, you go to the recording directory and you can pull it up. If it's recorded to the cloud, you log in there and you can actually see and pull down the files from there as well. Last but not least, there's reactions. You can do a thumbs up, applause, those types of things. In the upper corner, speaker view, this actually allows you to see the active speaker. Here's Mr. Banks, who is in the meeting with me. I can switch back to gallery view, and I can see that Hollywood Squares view all over again. When you're done with the meeting, you, of course, will hit the leave button. If you are the host, you have the option to close the entire meeting down for everyone. And, if you're not a host or if you choose not to, you can simply just leave the meeting. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Hopefully that's been helpful. If you have questions, comments, other tips or tricks, please leave them in the video comment section below. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.